All right, here in round 2, we've got the choice. We'll play first, and this hand's not great, but I think I'm going to keep it. We have a creature, we have a removal spell, we have all 3 colors. Yes, it's mana intensive, but that's okay. Start with a Tranquil Cove, since our only sources of white mana currently are tapped lands. Disowned Ancestor. Salt Road Patrol, a fine draw. Now we get to go Morphed Watcher of the Roost into Salt Road Patrol, which is quite good. Likely the opponent is just outlasting. That's the typical turn 2 play after a Disowned Ancestor. And our opponent is giving no exception to that rule. Or he's trying to outlast it, maybe. Maybe he changed his mind. You never know. Maybe he's going to drop a Skull Hunter. Oh, turn 2 Kentry Invocation. Well, that's twice as dangerous. Well, this is interesting. I could just kill shot the token now. I guess I probably should. My other option was play the Watcher of the Roost, and then play the Salt Road Patrol to block the Spirit. But there's just too many removal and pump spells, so I think I'm just going to leave up kill shot. Take care of the old 4/4 threat. Well, I much rather would have my opponent just outlast there. If he doesn't attack, we can just play the Salt Road Patrol. It's no biggie. He is, in fact, attacking. Thankfully. It would have actually been mildly annoying if he didn't attack there. I mean, we still would have had the Salt Road Patrol for blocks, like I said, but the difference is... I'm trying to think if I can race right now. Because I can play Salt Road Patrol, play an untapped land, play Salt Road Patrol. I guess I do want to do that, because then next turn I can outlast plus Watcher of the Roost. But I am going to have to find a white spell to flip up the Watcher of the Roost, since I would like to morph it. And yes, as I said before, Salt Road Patrol can in fact block a 4/4, but when you're dealing with black and green, you have to deal with both removal and pump spells, which makes that a slightly more... Not even slightly, it makes it much more dangerous. And taking care of a turn 2 4/4 seems important. I'm a huge fan of the Rattleclaw Mystic. Alright, little Sig host. I anticipate some Delve spells coming up here shortly. I'm actually hugely bummed about that Sig host move there, because it got rid of an Enhanced Awareness and a Suspension Field, both of which would be excellent at the moment. Enhanced Awareness much more so, since we're sort of in a potential mana flood situation here. So I think now we're just going to... Well, this is interesting. I can play Wind Scout and outlast Salt Road Patrol, but then he can get in for 4. So I think we're just going to play the Cove instead and play the Wind Scout. Get a flyer online. Keep our blocker back. Second morph. And another Disowned Ancestor. Alright. I anticipate our opponent having some grim contests. But I shall accept that. Crippling Chill. Actually pretty good here. I mean, it can't flip a Watcher of the Roost or anything, but still pretty good. Let's get in with the Wind Scout. think this is actually tough. Like, there's a good chance we draw white in the next couple turns, but if I don't draw white and I just have a morph, I'm not going to be able to attack. So I think I am actually going to hardcast the Watcher of the Roost. As much as I'm not in love with the idea, I think getting some flyers right now just seems like a good idea. I'm going to Crippling Chill the morph. I guess I could wait on it, though. I can take one hit from a morph. All right, I'm going to block the Sib-Sig host. We'll take the morph. If he pays the mana to unmorph it, it's actually okay, because then we can Crippling Chill. We're still winning the race currently, so I don't see any super urgent need to cast Crippling Chill. I mean, it does draw me a card, which is pretty important, but I'd rather save the Crippling Chill for a more emergency situation. Highland game, I can handle that. Now he's just in Outlast mode, which is acceptable as well. Hey, Student's actually a pretty good draw. So let's get in for 4, drop a Student, and pass. One card left in our opponent's hand. Currently, do I want to cast Crippling Chill yet? I mean, I don't have to. I think I'm going to just let him swing for the fences here. I'm basically just saving Crippling Chill for an emergency. I should have actually kept that land in my hand in case of like Mardu Skull Hunter nonsense. Ruthless Instincts. But that only gives it +2/+2. Maybe he thought it was +3/+3. Alright, well, wasted a Ruthless Instincts, which I certainly don't mind. Alright, well, the good draws had to stop at some point. Do I want to pocket this Windscarred Crag? I kind of do. If he's got a Mardu Skull Hunter, I don't need any more lands either. That's a big one. I really don't need any more lands. Pass again. Still not really that motivated to use Crippling Chill. If he Rakshas a secret, of course I will, but otherwise, I don't really see the huge incentive to do so. I mean, we're still handily winning this race. Take 4. Maybe he uses his mana now to unmorph. Still not, which is interesting. Alright, well, that seems like the creature I'm going to have to lock down. I think we found our target. Alright, unfortunately hit another land there. Well, this is interesting. Let me think about this. So I Crippling Chill, the Abzan Kinguard, I swing with the team. He maybe chump blocks with the Highland game, maybe with the Mystic. He could crack back for at least 2, 4, 6, plus whatever this is. Let's say it's 5 or 6 power, which would be 6, 8, 10, 12 is about the most I think we could take. But we're going to be able to get in for some pretty good damage. And I guess clear a little bit of his board off. But then that takes a turn off the Crippling Chill. Let's see. He probably chumps like at least one of the ground guys, which means he would take 7. If he chumps both of them, that's not bad for us either. Might not be a bad idea to attack here. But I'm still tempted to play it conservatively. I don't see strong incentive to not play it conservatively. Tap the lifelinker. Get some prowess triggers that aren't of huge benefit at the moment. All right, Savants isn't bad. Swinging with the team. Not the Mystic, though. All right. Well, I can eat the Highland game, but I'm not sure I want to do that. If I block like this, I end up taking 6, possibly more from that. Or else I eat the Highland game. No, I think we just take this, because if he unmorphs, gets in for some extra damage, we can still crack back for lethal because of the Rattleclaw Mystic. Oh. No plays. That's interesting. Let's pressure point then. That was a nice draw. Get our prowess triggers on. Which is just huge here. That's still not enough. We got lethal. Yeah, we have lethal. Close game. Opponent's board was fantastic, but we just were able to pick them apart with some flyers, and that's all you need sometimes. So Grim Haruspex was a morph. Didn't see any other morphs. It's green-black, as far as we know. Not even Abzan. He had a couple expensive spells, but not sure if the cancel's justified. How exciting is Fierce Invocation? Well, it's not terribly exciting. Guess I could do cancel in response. Or instead, rather. It doesn't attack into his disowned ancestors that well. I mean, it attacks reasonably well into him, but it does hold up a lot of his other dudes pretty effectively. Cancel on the draw, perhaps worse. Our opponent's got a pretty, well, it's quick in terms of him playing spells, but it's not quick in terms of him beating us down. That's not necessarily true, though. I guess the Kin Tree Invocation's a pretty big deal. We don't have any Force Aways in here either. I could play the cancel over the Fierce Invocation. I don't know. Maybe that is right. Let's try that. Could be good for us. We'll see. Guess I could have actually brought in the Lightning Shrieker too. Maybe just having the Flyers better. It's a great hand. Excellent distribution, good blockers, good offensive. Can't play our light form yet, but I feel like we shall eventually be able to. And even if we can't right on turn 3, we've still got other stuff keeping us busy. No 1 or 2 drops from our opponent, which is interesting. So I'll just get a Soul Summons down there, see what we manifest. Just a Plains, which sadly is a card we could have used. Hooded Assassin. Well, I can accept that. Student. Student does make the best use of mana, but I don't think my opponent's super likely to attack unless he's got pretty Omega follow-up. I think I just play the Savants. This lets me double block his Assassin as well as unmorph, since I think he's pretty likely to put our morph creature right out in the open in front. So I think I just double block it. He's bitterly revelating, which means he's likely not attacking, which makes sense. Jeskai Runemark. Good card. It is a good card. But I don't feel super comfortable playing that at the moment. We also missed our land drop, which is a little bit awkward. Opponent has Reach of Shadows, which does not deal with our morph. And I guess if he throttles, I can just flip it up. Well, I'm going to play the Runemark then. So I bypass Reach of Shadows and Throttle right now. It's actually kind of nice. I mean, granted, my guy's not flying, but he also can't block here. And next turn, my guy is definitely flying. So Reach of Shadows isn't a big deal. Throttle's not a big deal. Rite of the Serpent works, but he's not quite at that mana yet. I can still attack with the Savants too, which is kind of nice. Jeez. Archfiend, there's a threat. Well, I think we swing with our morph again. I mean, I don't want to play a creature into the Archfiend, really. And I have Kill Shot for it. So I guess we're kill-shotting and remember, Archfiend is super annoying the way that it works. You have to click your 2 creatures. Or else it just kills everything. It just is straight up a board wipe, which is really obnoxious in my mind, but what I think it should do is auto-click 2 guys, and you can move them around. But that way, if you like click too fast, it doesn't eat your whole team. Like, you can click it off if for some reason you want to have your entire team eaten. But whatever. Alright, well, kill shot the threat. Alright, I would say we're in pretty good shape now. Now we get to play Watcher, perhaps, or a Monk, perhaps. I guess the Watcher is less useful against the Scavenger. I guess the most useful against the Scavenger would have to be the Monk, since if I can play a spell, then I can actually do something. Let's play the Monk here. I'm going to swing into the Scavenger. I mean, I could have done it post-combat, but whatever. Just giving it Death Touch, perhaps? Oh, it's just 2 for 2ing it? All right. I accept. So I don't get to see his hand, because if I flip up the Savants, then it doesn't kill this guy. But still in a pretty good place here. I mean, we're obviously mana deprived at the moment, but we've got some good options we can eventually play. And we did deal with an Archfiend of Depravity, which is nice. Alright, Mandrills, something we'll deal with. Ancestor, not that intimidating. Highland Game, also similarly not super intimidating. Oh, that's interesting. So he basically wants to kill one of our... He wants to kill the monk? Might have to oblige him. I'm trying to think. Are these going to work better as a blocker somewhere else? I don't think so, because I'm likely just playing a Watcher next turn and passing. Unless I can get the white mana for Light Form. But these guys aren't going to be attacking into a Mandrill, so I think I just double block. He gets to kill my monk, but my monk, like I said, not really attacking anytime soon, so... And it doesn't even look like it's getting prowess triggered anytime soon. I mean, yeah, it could get prowess triggered off the Light Form, but I'm not going to swing with it. All right, well, Suspension Field's actually pretty good. This is interesting, though. I think I'm actually going to play the Watcher first. Basically, I'm willing to take 4 damage next turn. And get my flyer online, especially since my flyer gains me life. Just basically, I want to start the race going again before my opponent draws a bunch of cards. I want him to stay busy, you know, outlasting and playing stuff I can deal with. I can afford to take 4 right now for, well, guess I can't afford to take 4 right now. So that's unfortunate. Guess I'll show my opponent the Student for some life gain. So, in retrospect, I wish I'd suspension fielded, but can't always predict what your opponent has in their hand, unless you get a Dragon's Eye Savant's activation. Alright, I think we are going to kill the Highland Game. I mean, yeah, it gains him life, but it also makes us take less damage. Alright, opponent's got a lot of spells, but he is officially out now. There's our second white source. So now we just suspension field and begin to chill out. Taking some damage, but at least next turn we get Light Form at least. And if we draw another white source, we can do Light Form plus Student. Really did not want my opponent to top deck a Gurmag Angler, but my opponent top decked a Gurmag Angler, so it's unfortunate, but sometimes your opponents draw things you don't want them to draw, and when they do, you have to accept it. So that's what I'm here to do. So we're taking 6 next turn, which is a lot more damage than I want to, but maybe we get Ojutai here. Come on. I'm only 2 lands away from actually being able to do anything with it. If I can draw a land, I can Warbeam it, so I guess that's not the worst. I guess I can anyway. Yeah, alright, let's just drop... Well, let's get in with our dude first. Guess I could have dropped Sage of the Inward Eye too. Maybe that... I don't think that's better. I think we want to drop a Warbeamith. holds down his Gurmag Angler very well. I mean, yeah, Sage of the Inward Eye is good too, but I just don't want to end up losing to like a pump spell or something. He could have swung team there. All right, still in pretty good shape, surprisingly. Drop the Crag, swing with our light form again. Play the Sage and pass. Well, I mean, if he had a removal, I mean, he might have drawn it this turn, but I feel like if he had removal the other turns, he definitely would have. He would have dropped that. That thing's got Death Touch. He might even need to be swinging with that. I feel. Still, no swing with the Typhoid Rats. That's pretty interesting. Wish I had a spell. But still going up to 15 and having 2 blockers. I feel pretty safe. He's in top deck mode. Gotta swing with the team. So block Angler and Nightblade and take 5. Guess if he can kill Sage, can I still attack with Behemoth? I can block the 5/5 and take 7. Yeah, we're going to do Behemoth too. All right. So, close match. That top-decked Gurmag Angler had me worried, but thank God for War Behemoth, huh? War Behemoth buying some time, letting our flyers do their job. So, deck is working well. Deck is working very well, and this was still still a tight match, even though we won 2 games back to back. It was still tight. So it's not been a walk in the park. So I'm happy with our victories. We'll see you in the finals.